All right, let's do a little bit of review talking about volume. And the cool part about this is that we know the volume from what we have learned in previous years. We know how to find the volume of a rectangular prism or a triangular prism, and that can help us with what we're going to learn this year. So in order to find the volume of a rectangular prism, we take the length and the width and the height. And we know that in order to find that, we multiply the area, the length times the width. When we find the multiplied length times the width, that's going to give us the area of this face, or the area of the base. The base of a shape, let's look at this box of soup. The base are the two faces that are parallel to one another. Okay, so actually, whichever way you turn the rectangular prism, you're going to end up with having three different bases. And so it doesn't matter. But in this case, the base we're talking about is the one on the top and the bottom, because these are parallel to one another. Okay, so the area of the base is length. So we know that volume is length times width times height. And in this case, the area of the base is length times width. And so this gives us, that's the area of that base. Then all we have to do is multiply the area of the base. The volume is equal to the area of the base times the height of the prism, okay? So now we're going to use this formula to help us figure out the volume of cylinders. Now, it's the exact same idea. The only difference is the two parallel faces are circular. So we need to go back and think about what we learned in 7th grade about finding the area of a circle. So in 7th grade, we learned that to find the area of a circle, it's equal to pi r squared. So I'm going to measure this, the diameter of this, and it's 6.5. We're going to call it 6, just for simplicity purposes, okay? So in this case, the area of the base is going to be equal to pi times r, which we said was 3 squared. And the order of operations tells us we need to deal with the exponent first. So we'll substitute 3.14 in for pi, and 3 squared is 9. Now all we need to do is multiply 9 times 3.14. That is going to give us 28 and 26 hundredths. Which means that the area of the base of the circle is 28 and 26 hundredths centimeters squared. Okay, now in order to find the volume of this can, let's measure the height. And to measure the height, it's 10.5. No, it's not, because that includes that lip. So we're going to say it's 10. So all we need to do now is take the area of the base. If the area of the base is 28 and 26 hundredths, we can say the volume is equal to the area of the base times the height. So 28 and 26 hundredths times 10, which that's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. That means we just move our decimal point one place to the right. That's going to give us 282 and 6/10 centimeters, and this is important, cubed. Let's talk about that for a minute. Remember, when we are measuring in one dimension, length, we only measure in units. Because it's only one dimension, we're only going measuring in one way. When we measure two dimensions, like when we're measuring area, that has two dimensions, so it's a length and a width. That is units squared because it's in two dimensions, or square units. When we are measuring in three dimensions, we have 1, 2, 3 dimensions. Therefore, we measure that in units cubed or cubic units, okay? And that just means that in this case, 282 and a little bit more centimeters, little centimeter cubes would fill up the space of this cylinder, okay? So now, I want you to go see and do some practice to apply this formula to solve some problems.